Good morning, my friends. Hi, it's the Growth Day Morning Show. We're going to talk about some things to keep you motivated, some things to help you stay focused, some things to help you be even more disciplined as you chase your dreams. I'm really excited to be here with you today. And as always, we're joined on the Growth Day Morning Show by none other than Jamie Kern-Lima. Jamie, honey, in the internet.
Brendon, good morning. Happy
She's
Tuesday. Happy Growth Day. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday and good morning. Our theme this week is becoming more focused and disciplined. But how do you do that and actually have fun? How do you do that and do the things that are meaningful to you? And our joy here at the Growth Day Morning Show is just bringing some joy to you, bringing some encouragement, bringing a little bit of reminders that you got this. I know it's hard out there. I know you're bored with quarantine. I know you're just like frustrated with a lot that's going on in the world. And yet every day you still get to choose your attitude.
Yeah.
What a blessing. What a blessing. If you're blessed to be here today, please let us know where you're tuning in from, because you know we all geek out on that. We love to see it in the comments. We like to show that Growth is a worldwide community. Jamie, you got a big 2 weeks coming up for your book launch. You're focused, you're disciplined. How are you not stressing yourself out crazy as you're working on a new project? Because I know a lot of people, I did a meditation last night on Clubhouse, and people are like, thank you. I needed that. I'm so stressed. I'm working so hard. I'm just, the anxiety and everything's getting to them. And so how are you dealing with an intense time and staying focused and disciplined when it's so easy to watch Netflix instead?
Yeah. And it's tempting. Last night, I'm not going to lie, I was tempted to watch The Bachelor, pour some wine in a coffee mug, and have some popcorn, but I didn't.
Hey, be honest. Have you had wine in the Growth Day mug yet?
I have
I'm guessing.
not, but it's on my goal to-do list is to pour some wine in my Growth Day mug. And and because the book launch, because we're 12 days away, I now have 2 coffees for Growth Day, because
Love
the
it.
book, coffee, and growth, because it's early morning. So how I'm staying, one of the things I'm doing, today was another 4 a.m. morning walk, just to stay on, because it's a wild day. I have 6.
Anyone else can't do 4 a.m.s? I can't
I
do
know.
it.
No,
I just
but you're
can't.
a night owl, right? You're more like, you create at night.
Right.
I create in the morning. In the morning. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? Everyone's a little different. You guys type below. Are you more, a morning, like, do you create in the morning, or do you get your best ideas?
Yeah.
Like when
Early
I wrote the
bird or
book,
night owl? Everyone
early bird or night owl?
Plus, by the way, I saw people here, which is amazing. I'm watching people in Facebook and Instagram from Florida, Australia, Singapore, Japan, Nova Scotia, Canada. I see in the house. What's up? I see San Francisco. I see Portland. What's up? I see New York. I mean, it's unbelievable. Thank you guys for joining. We broadcast live every morning, 7:30 a.m. Pacific, Instagram and Facebook, across lots of Facebook groups. So I don't know which you're watching it today, but I appreciate you being here. So back to Jamie. Focus, discipline. Brendon, be focused, dude.
No, do you want to know, by the way, I just saw Natasha from Australia and just read her story online last night, another excerpt she wrote, and she was talking about, she's in my book Inside Our Launch Team, and she was talking about the struggle she's going through in her own life and her family, and how she gets hope and inspiration from the book and from the Growth Day Morning Show. And, we're just all in this together. And it's so special. This is such a special community. And I love, Brendon, so many people writing in DMs saying, using your words, that they dork out over personal growth, and that no one in their family gets them. And so, like, they get their cup filled up, through being a member of Growth Day, or through being part of the morning shows, and I don't know, super special. But what's funny is, but this is a funny story. So right before Brendon and I go live, we're both laughing about all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And then I'm like, wait. And then you're like, wait, what's the theme this week? And then we're like, oh yeah, focus. The focus is the theme. And
You're totally not focused this morning.
And I almost spit my coffee out, because I'm like, yeah, that's the theme. That's definitely the theme. But listen, you know, all week we're going to be talking about frameworks and actionable items and things you can apply to your real life. But we're also going to be having a lot of fun. And so my husband Paulo just got his first haircut in the entire past year during quarantine, right? So he's been trying to like shave himself. If I do it, and I would do it, but there'll be big holes. And so he's
No,
been
it's so
doing it.
easy.
And he did it outside. So we had a friend over that did it outside in the driveway. And now it's like great. And so when I saw Brendon this morning, I was like looking at his hair. I'm like, did you just get a haircut too? Like, did you just get a haircut? And you told me, I had no idea. You do your own, like, because you have complicated. You have the fade. You have the thing on a little bit of height on top. And
It's
you do
so
it yourself.
bad, guys.
You do
No,
it yourself.
I do it myself. So I have just the thing with the guard on it that I got on Amazon for literally $18. And I just go all around. I don't even use a mirror. I just go all the way around. And then I just grab a finger's worth of hair and scissors on the top. That's it. I mean, it definitely looks better on Instagram than in real life. It's pretty uneven. There it is. It's pretty uneven up there. But for straight on shots, just fine.
It looks good. There's no holes anywhere that I've seen. Like there's no, when when you shave accidentally too close on the side, see people are laughing, right? They're saying, OMG, oh, exactly. Like
I'm surprised more people don't cut their own hair. I mean, you can literally watch a YouTube tutorial and I mean, here's my thing. Every answer you need is on Google and YouTube. You just have to take the time to look it up and watch. So that's what I do. And so I learned how to do it on YouTube. And
how to cut your own hair on YouTube
yes,
too?
it was so complicated. I was like, that's so dumb. And so then I saw, this thing advertised. I was like, I think I figured it out. And the first time I did it, it was a little too tight, but it's super simple. And I just feel like it's one of those other little things of self-reliance in life. I just feel like you can teach yourself to do so many things. You can teach yourself to work out. You can teach yourself to get healthy. You can teach yourself to be on the internet. You can teach yourself to do video. You can teach yourself to be a better team leader, parent, mom, caregiver. That's the intention of growth is, can you learn? Can you teach yourself? Can you take the reins? Because I'm just, for me, where I'm at, I'm just not going to go into a barbershop. I'm just not going to do it. I'm too COVID squeamish personally. I just don't want to do it. And I know that not everyone agrees with that and they think I'm silly and they're like, just double mask with your haircut, kid. But I'm not going to do it because I want to go see my mom. Our parents are in their 70s and I do everything I can possibly do to protect myself because I want to see mom. And so if that means I have to cut my own hair, that seems like a pretty simple sacrifice. I don't know.
You know, and it goes back to an example of what you always talk about with confidence, which is just you have this confidence in your ability to figure things out, right? So in the case of, oh, let me figure out how to do my own haircut, you just figure it out. And, you know, it's interesting, pre-YouTube, pre the internet, like I grew up where the way you figure it out is, you know, either your mom or someone teaches you. And I grew up with my mom, literally, no joke, putting a bowl on my head and cutting the bangs around the bowl. And so when you see some of my photos from like 3rd grade, I was like 8 years old, and it's like a perfect bowl in the school pictures. And then, do you guys remember this? Anyone else, by the way, ever use a bowl or have someone in their family use a bowl? Type in the comments if you've done this. Or Brendon, you just reminded me of something so funny. I don't know why I find this so funny, but did you ever see that infomercial with the Flowbee? That thing that looks like a vacuum and you put it on the hair and then it
George Clooney just sold it out by announcing he's been using it his whole career. He uses a Flowbee his entire career. He's cut his own hair his entire career. He's been using the Flowbee for 20 years. George Clooney announced it like last month.
I didn't know this.
Sold out everywhere overnight. Not kidding you. It was a huge, crazy thing because he was like, yeah, I just use the Flowbee. She's like, no, you don't. He goes, yeah, I've always used it. It's not that. Here's the other thing. Here's one thing for those who are into trial and error. One reason I'm so good at trial and error in marketing, and one reason I'm so good at trial and error.
All these people are typing that they have the Flowbee and they use it. Okay,
it's great.
Trial and error. This week is focus. How am I not focused today? Sorry,
you're
Brendon.
The worst today. I don't know what's going on.
I am.
You're just all
is it
over
so much?
the place.
Is it the book launch? I'm just really hyper. And I'm not, okay, I'm gonna focus. But I am disciplined. I did my morning walk. I'm just so, I've been laughing ever since like your haircut before we started because it looks so good. I'm like, you did it? Okay, focus and discipline.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my question was, how do you stay focused and disciplined in intense times like this? I think part of the answer is you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm teasing a little bit, but it really is super hard right now to be focused. It really, I mean, this was as a topic. So we've been doing this Growth Day morning show, Jamie and I, for 5 weeks, every weekday, right? And we've had a lot of, like, week 1 was like vision week, and then we had like some other thing, and then we were figuring it out, and then it was confidence week. This week is focus and discipline. More than any other topic title. This one has gotten higher engagement because people know that in general, they suck at this. And they don't realize that the challenge with focus and discipline is always an emotional regulation challenge. It's never what you do for a living. It's not your bank account. It's not how many kids you have. It's not the, all the stories we will tell ourselves, because we know people who have that big of a team or have that big of a family or have that many responsibilities, and they're able to do it. And it comes back to, in the science, I'm not making an argument here against people. I'm saying in the science that it comes back to an emotional regulation, the ability to have self-control in the midst of distractions and competing interests, because you know what you want. You're clear. Like when clarity is down, discipline goes out the door. When clarity is down, of course you're not focused, because your mind is trying to absorb and take in everything so you can find the thing. And so it's actually okay if you're unfocused on discipline, but just know the first step is going to be seeking clarity and reminding yourself with visuals and notes and cue cards and pop-ups on your phone what is important. I have to, you guys, everyone teases me about this now, David, because I say it all the time. I have to stand in front of that board over there every day for 5 minutes to remind me of what's important. Otherwise, I will absolutely run outside and chase cars. I mean, I would I would be the dumbest, happiest dog running all over the place. I am just not built. I'm not. Everyone thinks, Brendon, you're so focused. I'm like, I'm not built that way. I've had to train myself that way. Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah. So, and I think, one of the things I talked about yesterday was just when we think about the one big thing, right, that moves the needle, and then the things that are distractions, right? And I talked about, for me, the importance of just walking in the morning. And so many people inside the live community talked about how when they do their morning workout, or they go for a walk, or maybe it's a meditation, that it literally impacts everything else. That it's not even about, how they feel in the moment of working out, or how the immediate, it's about that it literally sets up everything else for that. And I think, to your point about being, having clarity, when you talk about clarity, I think that for me, as an example, just to be super real, before this call and before I was laughing about haircuts with Brendon and about focus, I literally, one of the first things I said to him is, I just missed a huge deadline, and I don't miss deadlines. I was like, I can't believe I go, Brendon, I literally am about to cry this morning. Like, I missed one of the biggest deadlines for a big company that's going to support my book launch. They needed an email, and it's a whole thing. And I was like, I can't believe I did that. And normally I'm so organized, right? And I made the decision in that moment, I'm going to just enjoy and be present with Brendon, talk about his haircut. And I'm going to, when I, hopefully this makes sense. When we talk about clarity, I'm crystal clear, because I've spent 10 years working 100-hour weeks, building this huge company with thousands of, like, all the things. And I didn't enjoy it a lot of the times. Like, I was so, right? And so for this book launch, I'm also working 100-hour weeks, but I'm so clear that I want to enjoy it this time, right? So it's interesting that in this moment where the pre-show to the Growth Day morning show, when I'm like, Brendon, literally, I'm about to cry. I literally can't believe I dropped this ball. It's so unlike me, all these things. But I'm like, you know what? I have clarity that this time around, I'm going to enjoy this. For me, that's the big thing, right?
Yes.
And so I'm like, oh, the Flowbee. And like, because there's part of me right now.
Yes, just
But
enjoy
I
it.
think this
And
is,
you know what? Also, I gave her a little coaching this morning. I said, it's okay. You missed a deadline. Most deadlines are arbitrary, and I'll just say that for the track record. People need to understand that. But also the mentality here, this will help, because it's probably the shift of her being able to enjoy things in her life versus where she couldn't before, comes back to an unconscious catastrophic thinking, right? Missing a deadline, it's not catastrophic. You'll fix it. You'll get it done.
Yeah.
But if it's, oh, the world's falling apart, oh, I hate myself, well, that's why people often don't enjoy the life. They're just like, everything is catastrophic. Everything's a big deal and a drama. I'm not saying this about you. I'm saying this about people in general who they make these little things that aren't even huge things without realizing, oh, you can improve, you can change it, get it, you can still, okay, so you missed it by a day, get it done. You like, there's so many, if I cried on every deadline I missed, I would cry on the hour every day of my life. The number of deadlines that I have built into my life, I would just be like, ah! But I miss a ton of them, a ton of deadlines. And people are like, you're the discipline guy. I'm like, yes, but I also run all these different companies, do all these different things. Inevitably, somebody put an arbitrary deadline on me, and they prefer it then, but it's not real. And if I miss it, I'll catch back up. I'll get back in it. I'm not flipping about other people's times and schedules. I just know I'll get there. It's cool. I don't flip out.
Yeah, and something you just said that I think is huge in distinguishing discipline is you're not saying the big thing is through discipline I will hit every deadline. I feel like what you just said transcends that, and I think this is huge for everyone, especially people out there who are perfectionists or people out there who are dealing with stuff not going their way. And sometimes it's small things that we miss or mess up, and sometimes it's big things. But what you just said, what I heard is not, oh, because I'm mastering discipline, I'm going to hit every deadline. It's, oh, because I'm mastering discipline, I'm going to know how to keep focus with clarity and handle everything and be resilient when I don't hit deadlines, right?
Yes.
It's the discipline and the clarity that transcends all that. When that's huge, because then we're not at the mercy of all these things that we're not doing perfectly, or balls we're dropping, or mistakes that happen, or things that aren't going well in our life. And sometimes they're out of our control, right? With setbacks so it's like the discipline isn't in just that. The discipline is how do we handle it all with clarity. That's huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, think of this. When I think about like focus and discipline and that part of how much those two things hang on resilience, because you're going to break focus. You're going to break discipline. And if you pretend that's not going to happen, and every time you break focus or you break discipline, you hate yourself because you missed your morning routine, or you hate yourself because you missed this deadline, that self-hate gathers. And the more that guilt or that self-dislike for missing things, the more that gathers and you allow it to, the less resilience you're going to have over a period of time, because you're chipping away at your own confidence because you're so hard on yourself. And the more you're hard on yourself, the more you take away the confidence. So the only two things that you can do going in is, one, just make sure you have clear priorities and perspective.
Yeah.
I love those two words together, priorities and perspective, because you need perspective to have priorities. And when you have priorities, you need perspective when you miss them or have to reshuffle them. Like most of my week, I would say 20% of my week is reshuffling things. And people are like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, 20% of my week is reshuffling things.
Yeah.
The good news is, we learned in High Performance Habits, the research, 60% of my week is on the needle moving things. Like the things that move the business forward, build reach and build revenue. Like these are like the things. Everything else is secondary for me as a CEO, because that's my job for the team, the company, you guys as an audience, for me to focus on these few specific needle movers. And that's what my encouragement would be today, is for everybody to write down what are the real needle movers that make you happy or give you progress, that you feel like, oh, by doing these things, I move forward the most. And if you can just give 60% of your time to those each week, we know, at least from the research, that that's your odds of reaching long-term success and being happy about it. That's right there. And then it's just about, I love what Jamie said, she's being present when she's in here, having the perspective to know, okay, I'm here now. I can't deal with those other things right now. The perspective is, I'm going to be present with this. There's big things. There's this thing. And just not blowing things out of proportion. I think that's one reason people lack focus and discipline. They beat themselves up so many times. They actually hurt their confidence, which hurts their discipline. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is so good. I think, right now we are we're approaching the middle of February, which is wild, right? Great. There are so many people that are part of the Growth Day community and that are just hopping into this Growth Day morning show going, who are these two people? What's going on? And
hi, guys.
It's Brendon and Jamie. We're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 Pacific, every single weekday, where we all come together to boost joy and inspiration and share in community. And but I think, Brendon, that a lot of people, I think this is really big what we're talking about, in the sense of a lot of people have gotten to mid-February and they started the year off strong, right? Thinking, okay, a lot of people start, or maybe they started the month off strong, right? And they think, here's my big goals, my, all the things. And then when they start missing them, they don't give themselves grace, exactly what you're talking about. And then they think, oh, okay, I'm starting over next month, or I'm starting over next week, or I'm starting the diet next Monday, or all the things. But when we start focusing on the thing we missed, the thing that we didn't have our focus on, the thing that the ball we draw, all those things, and it may even be New Year's goals and New Year's resolutions and all of those things, I feel like we're letting the circumstances of those determine like a way bigger space in our daily life and in our own mindset than it needs to be if we're able to then transcend them. And I just want to go back to it one more time, because I even think for people new to your community, they might see you as someone with a high performance planner, and every little thing is, you talk about schedule and timing and laying it all out and having it planned, right? So I think it might be easy for somebody to think, oh, that's the key to success. And I think this is huge, because I think a lot of people probably share this in the comments and share this with me, this idea that, I've let missing those things, or dropping the balls in my New Year's resolution, or falling off the wagon in something, or this or that, kind of take over or take a bigger space in my own mindset of I've failed, or
yes.
I, am not doing this enough, or well enough, or that enough, or, oh, I've lost focus, so screw it, and I'll figure that goal out later. But no, it's how do you handle it when that happens is the discipline. Just to go back
yes.
to that one more time. And you sharing this is huge, because I know you as a friend in real life. So I know all these things. And I think they're so funny when you might miss a deadline or something, like, because I think, oh, good, he's human, all those things. I think it's funny because I know you as a friend, but I just want to make sure everyone makes this connection, because I think it's our humanness inside all of us where we beat ourselves up a little bit if we miss a deadline or drop a ball or make a mistake, or if someone else does something to us that just sucks, right? And it's not even in our control, or we haven't kept a promise to ourselves that for this year we're going to do this for our New Year's resolution, or X, Y, or Z. You're not saying that day to day, as the inventor of the most genius, million-sold high-performance planner, you're not saying that day to day it all is perfect and that's success. You're saying how you handle it when you miss all the deadlines, how you handle it is everything. Can you just share that one more time? Because this is huge for a lot of people who are starting to just doubt themselves or feel bad that they, you know what I mean, that we're in the middle of Feb and things aren't going as they planned.
Yeah, let's work backwards through this conversation. So if you are lacking focus and discipline, we can work backwards from that and go, oh, there's some emotional regulation issues here that are preventing me from being more focused or disciplined. Working backwards from that, it usually comes down to clarity and confidence. Clarity is, oh, I know what I want. I have my priorities. I get what that is. And confidence is, oh, when I mess up, I can keep perspective and still stay present and keep working forward versus stopping. Mm-hmm. It's when You recognize, oh my gosh, I wasn't focused this morning, so F the whole day. I'm going to sit down with 7 buckets of ice cream and 7 seasons of Netflix. Like that's not going to make you feel better about yourself. It's going to give you short-term comfort. But then the next day, you don't trust yourself to show up when you mess up. You don't trust yourself to show up when you get unfocused or you didn't fulfill the thing or meet the deadline. And so I think it's really important to go, oh, okay. Focus and discipline then ultimately comes from clarity and confidence. Am I clear about what I want and why it matters? Do I remind myself of that? Do I have the confidence to step forward each day in doing it, and then have the confidence to be resilient when I don't get it right, and keep it all in perspective? Clarity and confidence come together in perspective to go, oh, I missed this thing. Okay, guess what? There's wars happening in other countries. Guess what? There's hundreds of thousands of people in your state living in poverty where they're going to bed tonight with no meal. You missing your email deadline, I promise, if you can keep that perspective, you go, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not speaking to you on that example. I'm speaking to me. Like, I miss email deadlines. And I told Denise this morning, the most ever in the history of my career, I have the flags in my email. You know, the flag is it's me. I have to personally answer that. I have more flags in my inbox than I've had in my entire career. And it doesn't bother me at all. I'm going to get to them. I'm going to do my best to clear the decks and get to them at some point, but I have no guilt. I have no feeling about it. And part of it is setting expectations. Simple as setting up an email. Many of you, I can't believe I've done this for your own focus and discipline. Set up an email saying, thanks, received your email. Right now, very busy on these projects. Please understand it might be several days, 3 or 4 days before I can get back to you with what you need. If this is an email asking for me to take on this or do new projects, or you're reaching out to see if I'll invest in you or something like that, please know my plate is full of projects. I'm taking on nothing new at all in the next 6 months. So if this is a request, come back 6 months from now. That helps me prevent people from piling on things onto me. That now I have to additionally juggle. One of the ultimate secrets to focus and discipline, as we talk about it, is saying no. It says saying no, keeping the decks clear so you can focus on the things that matter the most. And that's hard, especially for Jamie and I. We're like, so everyone who's watching, if you're a high performer or you're the person, which you probably are, because Growth Day members tend to be the more successful their peer set. So what happens is, because you're good, everybody comes to you. That's the challenge with being good at what you do, or a good role model. Everyone comes to you with everything. You have to make sure you turn those away and you focus on your needle movers, and those receive the priority every day, every week. If those needle movers receive the priority, you'll get the progress. You'll feel good about yourself. And now momentum adds, you get more focus and discipline over a period of time as you actually prioritize what matters. The more you prioritize what matters, the more your brain gets the hit of progress. Pats itself on the back and goes, good job.
Good job. This is so good. I know we're out of time today, but so many people in the comments are saying we never learn how to lose, right? We never learn how to handle that. And I think this is huge. Maybe we could pick this up tomorrow, because I think two big things on focus is, and I think, I'm seeing so many comments about, we're not taught how to lose. We're only taught, like, here's how you win. Here's how you feel when you win. But like, how do you win while you lose based on how you handle it, right? And in your case, you feel nothing, no guilt about anything about having all these unanswered emails. That's freedom. That is beautiful,
total
right? So
freedom.
it's like, I want to go there this week because I think this is going to help so many people as well. Just with this idea of because my own journey was hundreds of what you call setbacks or no's or losing. Like, I lost so many meetings that I pitched my heart out for them to carry that ended in a no. So the only way I built one of the biggest, it is now the biggest beauty company, luxury makeup company in the country, is because how I handled all those no's, how I transcended above and didn't let them tell me that I'm a no. Do you know what I'm saying? And
So let's pick this up
It's
tomorrow.
huge.
This is good.
Let's pick it up.
If you
I'm
all
excited.
love this, make sure you follow Jamie on Instagram. Her new book, Believe It, is coming out this in 2 weeks. So make sure you grab a pre-order copy at believeit.com. Please do that.
And there's lots of gifts.
So many good things at believeit.com. Also, everybody, it's Growth Day. So we have a live broadcast to our members only. David Bach.
I was going to say, is David Bach today? Yes. Okay.
David Bach today is teaching how to have money confidence. So if you hate your finances, or you're struggling with debt, or you don't know what you should be doing at this time, this is Growth Day members only. So make sure you get signed up at growthday.com so you get that notification of where to watch with us. It's members only, growthday.com. It's a hot day. And then later this week, there's so much goodness coming for you guys, and we appreciate you being part of the Growth Day morning show. Please do yourself a favor. Tag a friend.
Yes.
Share this replay. We'll put the replay on my Facebook page, and we'll start broadcasting it to Jamie's too. Remember?
Yeah, we got to do that. I just show up. I'm like, oh,
I know, I got to remember that. Okay, yeah. I want you all to do something simple for yourself today. Write down, what are the major needle movers that when you do those things, your career moves forward, your business moves forward, your happiness is there, whatever it is, whatever area you want to work on. Identify the area you want to work on in your life. What are the major big moving pieces that when you do that, that area improves? Focus more on those needle movers. Things start feeling more focused and disciplined. All right. Jamie, awesome session today.
Awesome session. Thank you, Brendon. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing day today.
Everybody, you are stronger than you think. The future holds good things for you. Every day you can learn, you can stay focused, you can get back on track. Every day is a good day to grow. Thanks, everybody.